Alrighty.
You're not going to do the 3, 2, 1, and we're live, bitches.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for tuning in to Gill Time Live. Gill Time Ride. Gill Time Ride. Still trying to learn my own podcast name, right? With me today is the beautiful and sexy. He's also a European. I don't trust Europeans usually, and I think you understand that, right? As to why I don't.
No, I wouldn't trust him either.
Yeah, right. Anyways, he is a beautiful, young, bright. If you're looking for in one individual, right? If you're looking for looks, brains, height, he used to be yoked. I'm kidding, man. Yeah, his name is Seem, and
but if you're looking for someone who still is yoked, that's Carnage.
Lies, pure lie, dude.
So
pure lie. I'm not yoked.
all those things, but still yoked.
That,
over here.
Boy, no.
Psych, he's taken. Get out of here.
No.
Don't even try.
Dude, we were. I was on a little bit of the roid life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Give me some of that. I need it right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
I weigh like below 200 right now.
That's insane.
I know. I'm still losing weight.
At this point, I thought you got back into working out.
Well, no, not really, because I'm kind of sick, so I haven't started back up.
Dang, dude. Dang.
Yeah.
Where were you at? What was the max you had gained? How much weight? How much muscle mass did you gain? Because how many years had you been working out? That's another thing.
I started working out when I was 15, and then I put on a lot of weight. I made it to like 240 when I was like 19.
Yeah, 15. So
240 when I was 19. Yeah.
Okay, so wait, hold up.
But my weight's been up and down since then.
But okay, but just to give the listeners a little bit of background. Seem was one of the only engineers that I knew personally who hit the gym very, very consistently. There were fuckers like me and a few others that would go like once or twice a week.
Andrew was kind of regular.
Andrew was consistent.
He needed more coaching from me. If I was his trainer, he would have been way bigger than me by now.
Okay. Besides but yeah, one of the most consistent trainers. And when I just seen him stop, I was like, man, like I felt for him. I was like, so many years just like consecutively going and doing.
You said. If I ever stop working out, I'm gonna get hella depressed, and you were right. I did get hella depressed. But then I started running, and that.
It's
the endorphins. You need the endorphins. I mean, yeah, working out is the endorphins, plus your ego bloats through the roof because you're big. But with the running, you still get the endorphins, but then you look like a little bitch. So it doesn't help there.
Yeah. So,
but, I mean, don't worry. I'll bounce right back up. My shoulders are still not 100%, but if you want to be flexing on me, now is the time, but enjoy it while you have it. It won't last. It's not my first rodeo. I've been up and down before.
There we go, baby. Alrighty, son. Let's get into it. So tell me, when you had told me about just like Europe and how you viewed America, being a European, moving here, and now knowing the situation of your entire family, where like you're not even from your own home country, moving around. How do you view Europe now? Or you're transitioning into like coming into America.
No, I've already transitioned.
Yeah, okay, you're full on American now.
Well, I mean, I'm not a citizen, but I can see. When you live in Europe, the view that Europeans have of America is like, oh, these guys are so full of themselves. What are they talking about? This freedom they have. Like, literally, people don't know. It's like, what do you mean you have freedom? I can go to the store and buy whatever I want.
Yeah.
And I can drive whatever car I want.
Yeah.
Even though the cars over there are shit. But yeah, it's just like
but
people don't understand. Though. I mean, yes, I do like the European cars, but like
BMWs. I know that's your favorite.
Yeah, but like the BMW and all the European cars make cars for Europe, and then they also make cars they serve their market. So like the most common BMW here is a 528, which is a 2.8 liter.
Yeah.
in England, a 2.8 liter motor is freaking huge.
Yeah.
Like
They just don't come in that size.
There is, but it's like very rare. Like here, the 2.8 is the most common motor. Over in Europe, it is like the rarest motor. Like the most common are like the 1.6 or 2 liters. Like that's anything over 2 liter. Like you'll get taxed the crap out of because of global warming. Oops. Quote telling me to do that. Global warming's real.
This motherfucker, dude.
I don't want to lose my job.
So wait, okay, so that's another thing, dude. I cannot, like, you know this, between me and you, I cannot, Priuses, I can't do it, dude. Booty. I just can't do it.
Prius is like, it's like,
or Fiat.
I just don't, for, any small,
Prius, Fiat,
any car that is like, it doesn't have anything special, and it just, to me, a car has to have some kind of character, like it has to.
It's your baby girl.
Yeah, I mean, you're riding her every day, you know? You don't want it to be some lame, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. It makes sense. I don't care if my BMW was 20 years old. It was a BMW, and I could do mad skids with it.
God damn right, boy!
And it made the girl scream. Because I was doing hell like skids, alright?
Well, when it snowed?
No, dude, we went up to the mountains, and it was gravel road. And we had girls in the back seat, and I was just drifting hella, and they're like screaming the whole time. Yeah, it was fun.
Fuck, dude. That's another thing. Now, like women from Europe.
Whoa, don't tell me.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, so women from Europe and women from America or North America, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
White women both.
Yeah.
Completely fucking different, dude.
Well, yeah, it's just that they've just been raised in a different environment.
That's one thing. That's one thing, right? But like environment and how you grow up, what your religion is, how like conservative or liberal culture, whatever you want to fucking call it, right? Still, like you, especially when your Sarah had come over and stayed with us.
Yeah.
That was when it was an eye opener for me. I was like,
I mean, all Europeans, are like that.
They're just much more open about everything.
Stuff that
in general.
I guess so, yeah.
Like just in general. I'll give you one nutty ass example, dude. So I went to work. I came back, all right, and as soon as the minute I walked in,
don't tell me about the pole dancing.
Yeah, pole dancing, dude.
That's,
okay,
no.
Hold on. Wait,
that's
let me finish
Sarah.
Hold on. Okay. First of all, let me just save my end of the story. Okay.
Tell me.
I walk in. And so we have like a 55-inch screen as soon as you walk into my apartment. And the first I see, our apartment, whatever, fuck it. Okay. By the way, he's my roommate. Did I mention that? You are my roommate. Mention that. Okay, fuck it. He's my roommate.
I'm just staying the night. I mean, I am, but in another room.
This motherfucker. Oh, okay. So yeah, I walk in and the first thing I see is just these half-naked, stringed up bikini pole dancers on my TV.
Don't talk like you're complaining.
And then, no. Yeah, let me be very clear about that. I was not complaining whatsoever. That was a great view. All right, I'm not gonna say no to the guests. The guests can watch whatever they want, dude. When the guests come over to the Gill household, they get to do whatever the fuck they want. Okay, but point being, I walked in and then Sarah was just sitting there chilling, just like. I look over at her face. I look at the TV. I look at her face. I look over the TV. No reaction whatsoever. I was like, so, pole dancing, huh?
I should have told you she's into that. Or not. That was a fun experience for you.
but dude, it was just like, and then like we started getting in the conversation, and then she pointed this out. She's like, this is normal shit, dude. We all pulled in. We have poles in our houses. We have poles in our apartments. She has a pole in her.
She does, yeah.
Yeah, and
but that's what I'm saying. It's not like a European thing. Like it's very.
Okay, which countries do it then?
Well, it's not like per country. It's like
it's a European thing.
No. It's not. It's like saying. Oh, I don't know. It's like saying which countries do CrossFit. Well, a lot of CrossFit's kind of universal. There's a lot of people that do it.
Let me just put it this way.
It's not like Swiss people, and she's not even Swiss. She's like Croatian.
Okay, whatever. I don't know of a single American. Do you know of a single American, North American, like Canadian American that has a pole in their room? And
not the ones we hang out with. We clearly hang out with the wrong girls.
Got that?
That's the problem. Should have gone to the public universe. Just kidding. I love Wawa.
Oh, dude. Shout out to Wall. Oh, by the way, Steve and he's an electrical engineer. And if you don't know engineering hierarchy, electrical engineers are most definitely the smartest.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay, hold up. Trust me, the stuff that you guys went through. So he's like, mechanicals are like we're like pretty much like touching the surface. All right, we barely touch the stuff that they do, and it's not as complex. I can promise you. The complexity does not get there.
I don't,
dude. Some of the things that I saw that you guys did was absolutely nuts. All right.
And plus, but it's always nuts if you haven't learned that. So like if you look at it from the side, except if you're looking over at civil stuff, that's just easy money.
Dude, can't get on the civils, bro.
That's just like, whoa, dude, why are you looking at this dirt for? Just kidding. We need civils. Someone has to do the plumbing.
By the way, he's being too humble. He is and was a very smart individual.
I would like to say was.
Got dumber as you got in the field.
The gains lost. My brains were in my muscles, I think.
God damn.
Yeah.
How do you, now that you're graduated and you're working,
want to go back to school?
You want to go back to school?
Yeah.
You want to get your master's?
No, I'm going to go straight for PhD.
My man. All right. Respect. Here we go.
Might as well.
What do you want to study now?
Anything that will make me the monies.
I'm
not too concerned about what I study.
Yeah.
I want to be doing research that is cool.
Like what, nanotechnology?
No, like just any research. I don't know. Like I've kind of looked here and there. So like, dude, I'm not gonna pick a school based on what school is good. I'm gonna pick a school based on what research they do.
Interesting.
So like, if I like the research they're doing,
yeah,
I'm gonna call up the professor and be like, "Yo, I want to do that."
Let's do it.
And that's how you get your full ride too, because research money is big.
But have you talked to some of the researchers who have gone?
Not yet, no.
Dude, yeah, okay.
What do you mean, some of the researchers?
So like, I'll give you an example.
Current researchers?
Like current researchers. I'll give you an example. I'll give you from Wawa. Talk to Victor Wang. He will tell you.
No, I talked to Dr. Frony.
Fuck Dr. Frony, bro. He wants you to do more school. He doesn't want you to get in the field and work, make money. I'm telling you, you need to talk to Victor. Victor is ask him how brutal that shit was, dude. He talks about it even to this day.
Went to study some nanotechnology. I couldn't care less about that.
Okay, if you want to make money, that's where the money is at.
Well, no, I should have clarified. I want to make something that is cool. Like, I don't...
Okay.
And okay, here's the thing. If you do something that you like, and if you're passionate about it, people will pay that. People won't pay you for making a good product. People will pay you for being passionate about making a... It's not about the what. It's about the why.
I don't know about that. I have a harder no. I think that
I'm telling you.
I think right at this very moment, you like at least for me.
If you're really passionate about knitting, people will buy your knitting.
No, I think if your knitting's good, people will buy your knitting.
Yeah, but in order to become good, you can't be like, "Oh, I hate knitting," and just knitting away.
That's not true, dude. There have been so many. Think about it like this. Like, okay, you think that Einstein, he loved the shit, the 24/7 that he did? I disagree. He loved it. He at some point was like, "God damn, this sucks, big ball, big dude."
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, I have to know. There has to be.
You think he spent all his time hating what he was doing?
Oh no, not all the time, not at all, not all the time. I think that there were parts of his life where he's like, now this is just getting out of hand.
We hit that part in everything we do. Like, if I'm working out, there's some days that I want to be home because I'm just so tired. I'm still gonna crank through it, but I'm not gonna quit working out. And the same when I say, I'm sure sometimes like, this problem's so hard, like my brain's like smoking already, and then he takes a break, and the next morning he's excited to be back on
That's fair.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it's not always riding on the high note.
I don't know. At least for me, I never really chased. You know this about me. I never chased something about passion. Like, passion was like something. I think
that's why you're so unhappy.
You think so?
I'm kidding. Dude, you're supposed to say I'm so happy.
No, fuck you. Okay, wait.
You just walked right into that.
Okay, wait. Okay, let me explain as to what I mean by that. Okay, when I started off engineering...
You do chase shit, but you give up instantly.
Okay, that's true. That's true. I'll
Step
admit
one,
that.
I'm going to start painting. Buys all painting shit.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah, you still have it.
Okay, wait. I'm about to expose myself now that you bring this shit. Okay, I'm going to expose myself. Okay, this is what's gonna happen, right? Fuck, dude, it's already ripped. We got this, alright? I called this, wait, what did I name this? Burning Falcon. Wait, do you guys see the Falcon? Yeah. Do you see the Falcon? Yeah, dude, okay, this is the Burning Falcon, okay?
I see feathers.
Okay, wait, hold on. And
don't waste too much time on this.
Okay, wait, hold on.
You're losing.
We're gonna eat my nutsack, dude. Okay, I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna expose myself today. Okay, this is what's gonna happen. Okay, hold up. And then I don't even want to show this one, dude. This is so bad. I don't even know what.
Oh my gosh, it's dirty. It's a snake.
This one was crap. I admit this was just me going back and forth. And then this is incomplete. I don't even want to show that. What the hell is this?
That just says it all.
Yeah, please comment on this one, see.
It's a tree.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
It's a tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
Hey, by the way, peeps, if anybody wants to buy my art, please contact me.
Oh, man. This should be a comedy podcast. Okay, don't knock the microphone.
I won't. Hold on. And then we got this one. This one's also a personal favorite.
Wait, let me see. I'll tell you what it is. It's a boat. It's Jesus out at sea. This is the storm right here. I didn't know you're Christian, Karn.
You stupid motherfucker. It's two birds and it's a tree.
Oh, I thought it was a boat.
Wait.
That's the beautiful thing about art is that the beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Correct.
And that is what art is about, and that's why Karn is so good.
Okay, this one. Okay, please. This one was pretty good. Okay, you have to admit.
Well, let me see it.
Okay, hold on.
Also, you need to. Your light is glaring off the paintings, so you gotta.
Fucking hell! Okay, look.
It's a peacock.
Yeah, it's a peacock. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what? If you guys want this piece, I will.
I notice a good cock
negotiate
when I see
a price, Steve. Okay. Okay.
Next hobby: drones.
Eat my nutsack, dude.
Drones and soldering.
Okay, wait. Hold on. First, let me explain what happened.
Quickly, Karn. You're losing people. They don't care about your hobbies.
Okay. First of all, my little rotor.
30 seconds.
Okay, shut the fuck up. We got fucking. So this little rotor right here, it crashed and I can't fix it.
How many
anymore.
times did you fly it before you stopped flying? 4. Okay.
Yeah, 4 times before everything fucking failed. Okay, enough about my stupid ass hobbies.
Whoa, I thought you had another 20 seconds on the clock.
No, we're done. We're done with this shit. Yeah, we're gonna move on.
Oh, so you want me to bring up the next hobby you had?
No, shut the fuck up. No more hobbies of my shit.
No more. Okay. There's been more.
Wait, which other one?
3D printer.
That 3D printer.
I love it.
Dude, I don't know what it is.
These hobbies comes in waves of Amazon packages. Everything painting related, boof, comes in. Everything drone and soldering, boof. Drone stuff.
Wait, drone came in way before.
Stuff.
This one came in like a year ago.
Oh,
and then the solder was recent.
You schedule your hobby.
Pretty much.
Stints.
I gotta come back to you know what I'm saying.
All right, and right now we're doing a podcast.
Right now we're doing a podcast, and I think I'm gonna stick with this one.
I think you're making the right step by having me on. I think it's gonna really boost your popularity.
Get the fuck out of here! If I lose viewers because of this, I'm suing your ass, dude. You're the first person I'm fucking suing over.
The key is clickbait. That is the key.
Oh, for sure.
You have to get.
For sure.
You have to get people on the show that will are controversial and that are not very open about my life.
About your life.
About my life. and then you put a clickbait out saying they will reveal so, and then people will nosy as. You know.
Well, of course.
Then they'll. I mean, that's honestly like that's why I watch Joe Rogan because I'm like I watched one with Lance Armstrong.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to know what this guy's doing because I'm like.
Because Lance Armstrong he had taken steroids in order to win races.
Yeah, I mean he took EPO, which everybody's doing in cycling, but he was demonized so bad is because he kept lying about it and he kept counter-suing people for
making
lying,
claims.
Making claims. Yeah. So he went after them, which I think was his mistake, and that's why he's so hated. Yeah. But I mean, come on, if you actually believe people are in top-level sports earning millions of dollars and they're 100% clean and honest with you, you're an absolute biggest dumbass in the entire world.
Of course. Even in the sport of baseball, before people got caught, people
are doing
shooting up, dude.
People are doing steroids for playing in the orchestra. like because they have to play so many shows, like they can't keep up.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Like it's, dude.
What they're massaging their throat muscles or something?
They're shooting like, dude, you can. You're shaking the table.
Oh my.
You're like, you shoot EPO, like you will just go longer, like your blood delivery is gonna be better into whatever, whether it's your lungs, whether it's your vocal cords. I'm not saying that's what they do, but I'm just saying steroids can have a benefit for anything, really. I mean, if you want to be really creative, I mean, you take some DMT or some shrooms, boom,
there you go,
you create the Matrix.
I
mean, that's literally how Matrix was created. You want to, study for an exam and nail an exam, boom, you take some Adderall. There's a drug for everything. You want to be at the top. You think those people at the top, like,
they've got to be doing something.
Well, I'm not saying there's not talent involved. But like, I'm also not saying that there's very few miracle kids, and considering the amount of top level talent there is, and I put talent in quotes because I think they have the edge, and I think the edge is that they're quote unquote cheating, even though some of them are not competing. I mean, if you're playing in an orchestra, you're not competing.
Even Einstein was shooting up marijuana, dude.
I don't know what he was doing.
He was like, just saying, like, one of the smartest guys.
I mean, he was just kind of crazy.
He was crazy, but at the same time, like, what we know as physics today was defined by Einstein.
Yeah. But I mean, he wasn't competing, but like, a lot of, like, most of extraordinary stuff that we see
I think he was competing. He was definitely competing.
I mean, he was competing. I mean, it was war. So, like, in war, like, I mean, the Soviet soldiers were getting, shot up with testosterone in their training. Because, I mean, war is war. Like, it's life and death.
But those Russians are crazy, dude. They did some weird shit back
Russians
in the day.
are the one that made up steroids. Like, I mean...
Oh, really?
During the communist era, when they had the Soviet Union was competing against Americans, and one year they came in and they just crushed everybody.
Yeah.
Then during... at the post, like, Olympics party, like, the Russian coach got drunk and told the American coach about what they've been injecting their athletes. And then the Americans came back, invented an even stronger drug, came back next year, kicked their ass. I mean, sports has become, yes, it's about talent and it's a lot about your team, but it's also equally about coming up with the latest new thing. Like, whether it's been, like, the drugs have been developed, like, so much throughout the years. Like, first it started with straight up testosterone. Like, you shoot it, your testosterone would immediately go through the roof, which is terrible for you. You break up, that's when you get your hair growth, that's where you get your... Because it's not the fact that you're high testosterone. Men have high testosterone. You might have like twice as much testosterone as me. That you're not going to show any effects. But now start fluctuating your hormones. You're going to start breaking up. You're going to start growing hair. It's the fluctuation in hormones. That's what I want to talk about.
But it's at the same time, like, people have, like, let's say even if you're shooting up steroids or testosterone, your genes still have a play in the matter as to how well your body can sustain that.
I mean...
Like, all these big body lifters, they're all shooting up roids. But they're all on different levels. Like, your body and your genes still have...
They dictate a lot.
There's still an effect there.
Testosterone is the main hormone responsible for muscle growth, but there are a lot of other factors that contribute into... And if we're talking about powerlifting, then... I mean, the only thing they judge is strength. But if we're talking about, like, bodybuilding, I mean, it's not, like, yes, anybody can get massive, in my opinion, if you take enough drugs and eat enough food.
See, I disagree. I think that there's some skinny guys who can...
Okay, if you take enough, like, if you take the right amount of drugs, the right kind of drugs, the right time, eat enough food and train hard, anybody can become big. Anybody. It's just hormones are the way your body sends signals to your body,
but equally big. You'll say, like, that's what I'm saying is, like,
if you do all those things, if you take the right drugs, if you take the right combination, because there's several various. I mean, they've been developed for various reasons. Take several of them. If you take the right cocktail of them, if you eat enough food and you train hard enough, I think that if we start comparing people at the top level, the difference is going to be very small.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. Like, you look at, okay, for example, you look at some of the people who won Mr. Olympia. They did not have the best genetics. They even admit it to this day, and a lot of people say they will admit that they did not have the best genetics, but they had enough genetics and enough hard work and the right cocktail of drugs and nutrition that they beat the guys who are really talented.
It's true. I mean, like I look at like Ronnie. Was it Ronnie Coleman?
No, Ronnie Coleman had the talent. He was by far, even to this day, the biggest dude that's ever lived.
Yeah, like you go look up.
He was one of those guys. He was one of those rare occasions where he had the talent, he had the genes, he had the right drugs, the right amount of food, and the crazy training, which is why he's on crutches.
But that's what I'm trying to say is like if you look at a 300-pound man under 5% body fat. That was nuts, dude.
Nah, he was.
What Ronnie Coleman was. I don't think anybody's gonna be able to reach that feat.
Never.
That's what I'm trying to say is like. Sometimes,
but he's a once in a billion.
Yeah, but now he's fucked up. He's his back is like all fucked up and like he's gone.
He pushed. I mean, that's the problem with the roids is that no matter your body's always going to try and balance everything, but you just keep shooting with the right, saying more muscle. His skeleton just couldn't keep up, and he busted his back, and now he's got screws, and then he's on like oxycodone or whatever you call it.
He's on painkillers.
Yeah, he's on painkillers all day long. Worth it.
But like, even if you watch some of his interviews, he's like, I never drank. I've never.
Yeah, he didn't. That's what I'm saying. He had the talent and he had the hard work. He had everything.
Like that guy that was.
And he came in and he killed it. And I mean,
it was nuts. Dude. Every year,
nobody could take him down.
Yeah, every year he got bigger and bigger.
Yeah. And
he's like if you watch one of his interviews with one of his competitors, he's like the first time I ever drank was just sitting there and chilling with them. He's like, why can I not get big? And then he drank so much that night, and the next day he went in a competition. His body was dehydrated, and his muscles showed even more. Yeah. And he won. He won that fucking round.
Well, it's nuts. It just so happened to be a crazy coincidence because he was just tired of, and he was like, screw it, I'll just drink some without realizing that alcohol. I mean, their main goal when they're not main goal, but one of the ways they get their skin to kind of hug around muscle fibers is by having no water under the skin, and alcohol dehydrated him and just pulled out all the water, and boom, he was so ripped, and it was like massive and just ripped. But after that he was just like downhill.
So it's crazy. Like I know that like just
what a tangent. All these drugs, man. I can talk about drugs all day long.
Yeah, he knows. You know way too much about fucking.
Way too much. It's just interesting, dude. It's just so.
Because you're a bodybuilder. You like to be in.
Look at me now.
Get the fuck out of here.
You see this?
Hey, don't be fooled. I'll show you some previous photo. This motherfucker was ripped.
Show them the nudes.
But I know that you're still a natural guy, and and not only that, but your family at some. I don't know if your family has to do, but like when you told me you never took like tetanus shots or like the.
I think I had to have one. To come here. But
exactly, but you never had it growing up though.
No, never.
You never had what's the ones they give out? Like is it
rubella?
There's tetanus,
Then there's hepatitis.
Hepatitis A, B, whatever.
Yeah, B. And then there's tetanus. I don't even know. I don't care.
So honestly. You don't like most of us here. We have like before we even get to elementary school
booty.
Yeah, we have to take that shit.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? How did
I think it messes with the body chemistry, and especially for a developing child. Like, even if it does protect you against that particular disease, I think it screws up something else.
Like there's something more involved that we don't understand.
I think so. And like, it's not coincidence that most people will get away with a vaccine and they'll like have a minor like reaction, which is normal, which you expect means it works.
Yeah.
But I love how like nobody reports about like those few cases where kids get vaccines and die or get like major like nobody reports. It's like it's kind of like we like vaccines and we want to protect everybody else. So if we lose like 10 kids out of 100,000, so what? You know.
And then
someone goes and kills 4 people out of 300 million. Oh my gosh, ban guns! So retarded, honestly. Don't get me started on that.
We won't.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, but it's interesting to me that you've lived like I've never known an individual that has never had their shots or whatever.
I mean, I've had shots,
it's custom that they just like showed up your fucking roids.
I've had shots, but like only because there was no other way around it. Like they pretty much forced me.
Yeah.
And I will also say that once you're an adult,
Yeah.
your body already has a fully developed immune system. So like,
So it doesn't matter at that point.
so
yeah.
I guess, yeah, your body's better able to handle those because they're literally injecting you with the virus, with a small amount of virus.
Well, correct. But it's not just the virus.
So
like I started researching, they actually put like mercury, a slight bit of mercury.
I don't know what they put in there, but honestly,
crazy,
I think it's
though.
total booty. I think with the amount of money, I mean, this is probably to most people a conspiracy theory, but I think the amount of money, I don't give a shit. Like if you call anything that's crazy out there a conspiracy theory, you're just gonna believe whatever CNN tells you.
Oh, of course.
I mean, you have to question shit.
Oh yeah.
And like, you put yourself in their shoes. You're a big pharma. You're literally making billions and billions and billions of dollars of people's sickness.
Yeah.
Like, do you think your main goal in life is to make everybody healthy? Hell no. Like,
you're supposed to
you want
product.
people sick. Like,
dude,
you want to make drugs that make them dependent. You want to make drugs that make them want to buy more drugs.
Yeah.
Like,
same
people are greedy.
Yeah, not only that, but like you know, like acne medicine that they put out there. The minute you stop, that shit comes right back.
Yeah,
it's not. I mean, it's not treatment.
I'm not saying that every single drug they make is for that purpose.
Yeah.
But I think that they majorly downplay the negatives to ensure that people just don't think.
I don't even think that. I don't think it's just in that industry. We'll take it into engineering too. You know, like cranes. The safety factor on those, that when they're building those things, they actually reduce it so that customers can come back and buy more of those, so it can break down. Because how are they going to make money again? Like cranes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's what
they reduce like
and think of, I mean, there's not that much, like, we don't exactly talk about how much lucrative money there is in cranes, which, I mean, I'm sure there is.
But still, like, it's just an example.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's how greedy people are. Yeah. They don't care about safety. They don't care about other, like, human lives nowadays are just not worth squat.
Yeah.
And like, and for you to be so like gullible and say, oh yeah, Big Pharma cares about my health. Yeah, stick this needle in my arm. I don't care what's in it. And you told me I'm gonna be protected against this, and this.
Yeah.
Even though there's like no reported instances anywhere in a 100-mile radius. Yeah, shoot me up. Like,
it's hard. It's hard.
Just insane.
And the other thing is, like, if you do question it, they look you like you're a crazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me.
Every single year, people just get all these flu shots.
Yeah,
that's gonna be on the your.
That's fine.
All these flu shots people are getting I literally never gotten a flu shot in my entire life.
Yeah.
Do I pick up the flu? Yeah. Does everybody in my office pick up the flu? Yeah. Am I the first one? No. I am never the first one to pick up the flu.
Yeah.
Guess who recovers from the flu? Everybody.
Yeah.
It's why are you having people shoot stuff in your arm that you don't know what it is? Supposedly supposed to help you.
Yeah.
And like, so what? You say one flu.
Yeah. No, it's true though. Your body is made to recover itself.
Yeah,
like
just give it the right nutrients.
Yeah,
like people are just so lazy nowadays, and it just shows with in everything they do. It's like they think that if they eat half an apple once a month, then I mean that's how. Like that's not. I could go on a tangent about why people are so unhealthy too at the gym, and like your body's not meant to run on fries, egg noodles and and Red Robin burgers. Like your body, like the reason why you have to take vitamins is because your food is so deprived of them. Like back in the day, people growing their own veggies. Nobody needed vaccines.
That's true.
Nobody needed drugs. Everybody was strong. Yeah. Everybody survived the winter.
Yep.
Nobody had any problems, and now we're like, I wonder why we're always getting sick and all these diseases, and we're all allergic and have autism. Like, I wonder. Yeah, it's not rocket science. Like,
dude, I completely.
What do you think the veggies are for? Like,
it's just like
you want to be healthy. You want to give, especially like, oh my gosh, what like trips me up the most?
Yeah.
Is when I see like people are having kids, and like. You think that you want to give your kid the best chance of having like a good health and without being born with any like complications.
Yeah.
And you're still not eating healthy. Like you're not at this point. Like I get it. If you want to wreck your own body, go ahead. I don't care.
But not
like,
for your child.
Yeah, but you are wrecking the health of another human being. You're potentially screwing them up for life. And especially growing up here in America, like they could be diabetic. They could be prone to. They could have poor like insulin response, not necessarily diabetic, which could result in them being extremely overweight, which would cause a lot of other health problems. They could be born like with, dude. Like I'm not gonna go there, but like.
Wait, say what you're gonna say though. Say what you're gonna say. No. Come on, just
too controversial. It's too controversial. All right, I'll say it.
Okay.
But like, I've never seen so many like weird shit people have.
Like autism.
Not necessarily, just like minor things. Like I don't know, like people will have like acid reflux. Acid reflux. People like have that. Then they have all these like weird ass allergies. Then they have.
It's another thing. I never saw that in India. I've never known a single.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Ever.
That's what I'm saying. In Estonia, like in Eastern Europe, where like we're at least this generation, like my generation, is the last generation that was born and raised with mostly with food that was grown by their parents or their grandparents or by local farmers.
Interesting.
Like that's what I was grew up.
You drink
and I hated that
unpasteurized
milk. Like I could see the cows grazing across the lakes, and I would like, I'm drinking from those udders right there.
Let me get that nip in my mouth, boy.
I could have gone up and just like done my thing there and got my milk. That's how organic that shit was. I never had any, and that shit was, that shit was loaded with lactose, fat, and all these things. Look at me now. Do I have a lactose intolerance? Yes, but against this shitty milk that's here. If I go back home, dude, I can drink milk, I can eat milk, I can eat cheese.
There you go.
I'm fine. Yeah, like, I don't break out.
It's a lot of drugs in there, dude. When they're processing the milk.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people don't realize how important food is for developing kids, and that's what I'm saying. Coming over here, seeing all these, like I see people who have like freaking toes that are like growing out, like they're like freaking. This is weird. Like I've never seen that shit before. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's a lot. It's a lot of different.
It's a lot of different shit that these kids are wrong. And I'm not knocking like, oh, you're a retard or anything. Like that's not my point. My point is that like.
There's too many weirdnesses going on.
Too many weirdness. Yeah. And I'm saying, I'm not saying that every Estonian is perfect by no means. But that sort of crazy shit, like I said, is crazy to us. It just doesn't happen. And I'm not saying that we're super duper healthy. Like we have McDonald's, but we're too poor to buy it. Thank God. We still eat our veggies and shit. And everybody's, healthy. Like, they don't have any, not many people have asthma, not many. That's actually a joke between like me and my friends from England where like Eastern European girls are all skinny and in shape because they can't afford food. Nobody from Eastern Europe watched this.
Nobody from Eastern Europe.
But it's a joke. But it has some truth to it in that like it's not like money is so tight and like people are just more forced to eat at home, and when you eat at home, like you're not gonna make bread and be like, oh, let me just put equally as much sugar in there as I put in flour, which is what like a lot of processed foods are. They're like, sugar, too sweet, so all right, let's just load everything up, and that's what like stimulates your taste buds so much. So overall, like you're eating and it tastes normal, but like the balance,
it's there.
It's just
and I'll give you another example. When I was interning in San Jose, and I had to live with my my cousin's family. Yeah. And they ate every day, every single meal. Yeah. They like the main dish came from their garden. Yeah. And I got so fat. Like they had like 3.
You got fat?
No. I lost weight. Yeah. I just like because the same dish like rolls around every. Oh yeah. Even though I ate a lot. Yeah. Like how much I eat.
Yeah, I know.
And like. Get the fuck out of here.
You said it. I just agreed.
but you get like I used to eat the same amount and I lost weight that summer and I was not and I was still gaining muscle. But it was like that's the amazing thing. I was like I'm eating because the yogurt was homemade. Yeah. The vegetables were everything in the curry was like came out of the garden, no process. It was the the way of living.
Yeah, it's like, honestly, my theory is like, people will say like, especially like weightlifters, like if you're putting on weight, trying to gain weight, like for lifting, like, oh, just eat anything, just slam burgers, like chips, and like, yes, you will put on, but in my opinion, like, especially after having been here for a long time and seen all the junk that's available, like food is not food, in that like there's a lot of food that you put into your body and your body will simply like digest it and be like, I don't know what to do with this shit, like I can't use it for energy, I can't, so you'll just store it. And I genuinely believe that all this processed shit, that even though like protein, carbs, like carbs are not the same, like whether you eat a yam or a cup of straight sugar, like it's not going to be the same, like you know what I'm saying? And it's the same with fat, like fat is not the same, like whether it comes from a coconut or whether it comes from the fries that I get from McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? And we need fats.
Because that's the thing, they only give you monetized value.
Yeah, they just tell you numbers, like, oh, this much, but they don't tell you the quality of it. Yeah, there's more to it. And that's what I'm saying, like, the organic milk that could be full of fat that you eat from the cow that's grazing next to your house, you can drink that shit all day, and then drink skim milk or like completely fat removed from store here. And drink that shit, and you're gonna get fat or get lactose intolerance because God knows what they put in those cows.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like people don't think about the quality of food. Like they're so trained to think like, for example, this whole like fat is bad thing. Like it was just all lobbied by companies that are producing all this sugary shit, and that's why like people coming over here from Europe, especially like Eastern Europe, and they're like, why is everybody just so obsessed with like low fat shit? Like I don't get it. Like people are like, what the like,
or low carb or no carb.
That's like the latest, but like back 10 15 years ago, people would come here like all this like low fat shit, like I don't get it, like, oh yeah, it's low fat, but look at the amount of sugar in it. And people are here were so brainwashed because they were so advertised, like sugar is fat is bad, fat is bad. And they'll and then they'll get all these low-fat foods, load them up with sugar, and everybody's getting fat. But like, at least I'm not eating fat.
Doesn't make any sense. No. Like something's gonna happen. Like 0 calorie sugar. Was it zero? No, zero sugar.
0 calorie yogurts, for example. I don't even know how they make that shit. Like everything has calories. Like if it doesn't have calories, that should be your biggest like alarm bell. Like calories are used for energy, and food. You eat food for energy. If it's not calories, what are you eating? Like, what is it? Like, it's not food. Like
they don't tell you, dude.
What is it? Like, people just don't think with their brains. Like, they're just like, CNN told me it's good, must eat.
That's another thing. Like in India, when I went to just go, like I would go and I'd stay there for a month. Everything was from the garden. You can't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's good.
It's good.
It's
and
wholesome.
I eat a lot, and I'm still not gaining weight.
Yeah.
Not gaining weight.
When I was 230, 235, like this, January, December. December is really when I started, or January was when I started dropping weight. I mean, at first I wasn't eating much because I wasn't working out, so I wasn't hungry. But then I just started eating hella veggies, and not just veggies, but like I'd eat potatoes. I'd sometimes eat, I'd boil pasta and whatever. But the point I was like, I wasn't slamming a ton of meat. Like I mostly ate vegetarian. But I was eating a lot of veggies, and I was getting very full from the veggies, and I was still losing weight. Like I was eating as much as I wanted. But I was eating the right stuff, and I was making it at home, so I wasn't loading up with salt. I wasn't definitely not putting any sugar in there. And I was just losing weight like hella. Like, of course, I exercised a lot too. This was another thing what trips me out is people are like, oh my gosh, try this keto diet and you're going to lose so much weight. No, you're not going to lose. Yeah, you're going to lose maybe a couple pounds of water weight. But then as soon as you start eating back normal again, it's going to come right back. People, it is not, I'm just going to come out and say it. You cannot sustain weight off by just with your diet. Like it's not sustainable. Like you.
But another like I've heard of people who've gone on keto and then come off of it when they eat carbs for the first time. It's like a sugar rush. And they go nuts, dude. They're like, where's this energy coming? Like I'm serious.
Dude, I've tried keto before, and like.
Did you have similar reactions
I got terrible reaction in that. Like I'd eat because So I'd do this thing. It's called carb cycling. It was like I read it in bodybuilding magazine. Back then I was so gullible. I was like, I'd read everything on bodybuilding. I was like, Ronnie Coleman's doing 500 sets. I must do the same. 500 I was like, sets. Yes, he's natural. Yes. They don't say anything about drugs in this program, so I'm going to do it. So I was like, anyway, so I tried this carb cycling. So I wouldn't eat any carbs other than I'd have like one banana after a workout just because, you know, I'd replenish or whatever. Yeah. So for the whole week, I just eat like salad and like chicken. Yeah. So like just meat and salads and protein and some fiber just to get the poop rolling, you know. And then
get the poop rolling. You gotta shit every day.
You gotta
just a little bit.
You don't want to get constipated.
You gotta toot just a tiny bit.
That's when I had my appendicitis too.
Ew.
Yeah, that's what happens. You don't want to do those crazy diets. They're not good for your body.
Dang,
anyway,
that's crazy.
So on the weekends, that's when you were supposed to carb load. So you eat hella carbs. And guess what? Every time I had a fat carb meal, whether I liked it, I fell asleep. Like you get such an insulin. Yeah, it's like you're low key like feeling what people who are diabetics feel like your blood sugar goes so high and your insulin sensitivity goes through the roof, so that when you eat all those carbs your insulin just goes through the roof, and the nutrient uptake of carbs just becomes so great in your bloodstream that it just puts you to sleep almost. And that's what would happen, you know. And it's not good. Like you're messing again, like when you're picking a diet or an exercise program, you have to pick stuff that's sustainable. That means that you have to think to yourself, can I do this shit for the rest of my life? And if the answer is no, it's probably a shitty diet. You need to get something that works.
And get your
like
shit
people,
straight,
people lose weight by eating 7 times a day. Like it's possible. I've done it. Like when I was 240, you can do that. That's what I'm saying. It's insane. No, I usually
I'll tell you one thing. I personally do this weird diet where I only eat once a day.
With that.
I know
that's booty.
But I don't know. I don't know how to put it. It works for me.
Okay.
It's one of those things.
Here's what I'm gonna say,
like,
Karin.
Yeah.
As far as like your long-term health is concerned, I think it's good because every time you eat food, your stomach has to digest, your heart has to pump blood into it. But you're not doing that. Don't agree.
No, I'm not doing it for these reasons. Exactly. No, I'm doing it just for time saver purposes.
Time saver, and you think you're not gonna lose weight on that. I'm just gonna
correct. Oh yeah, I've already tried.
And that's what I'm saying. Like to lose weight, you want to speed up your metabolism, restrict your calorie intake, and increase your activity. Yeah. But if you stop eating, your metabolism's gonna tank.
Yeah, and I won't have energy.
And you won't have energy, and that's what's gonna happen. But so the key is to eat one healthy, like we talked about, the healthy food. Eat healthy,
like we talked about,
and often, because that's gonna keep your metabolism high. Because guess what? Every time you have a massive meal, again, your insulin's gonna spike. Yeah, that means that your fat cells and your muscles are gonna be able to drop the nutrients.
No, I just honestly, for me, it's like now that I've found this way, I don't know. It's just
it's a time saver. It's a time saver. And if my goal on this earth was to live to be 100 years old, that's what I would do.
But I don't want to even live that long. That's the thing. I've told this to multiple people out there. By the way, if I die by 50 or 60, I'm happy with that. Like I want to live a short, good, and just out there. Want to do make money, and
you're saying that now before you have kids. I think once you have kids, your perspective changes. Like, I want to see them grow. I want to see my great grandkids. Yeah, don't lie to me. Come, let's talk when you have kids.
True. It's crazy though. If I have a kid right now,
when you have kids?
Yeah, when I have kids, when Polina and I, we're definitely having kids. We're
exclusive. Karin is having kids.
Yeah, guys.
I'm not yet.
Global. I'm gonna add to global warming. I'm definitely doing that shit. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, wait, hold up.
Tell me.
We're gonna see 5 generations
of Gill.
No, not Gill. No, because my great grandmother's still alive. So correct.
So you're trying to pop out one before she dies.
Correct. No, for sure. So
how old is she?
I think my great grandmother. I think she has to be in her mid 90s or late 90s.
You don't have much time.
Dude, yeah, I was like, that's why I keep telling Paulina. I'm like, dude, let's just have a kid so we can fucking put and show Paulina, it on there, dude.
Have the kid.
Thank you. Please tell her.
Karin is ready to learn some responsibility.
Oh God.
That's not the way you expected it to go, is it?
But Dude, talking about global warming. Hold on, just give me a second. Okay, we talked about this a little bit, but hey, do you remember? A little bit. With like that woman on AOC's.
Now it's fake.
I know, but still.
I love how. Okay, I don't know.
But still taking the AOC. How she reacted to that? She didn't even like. Okay, wait.
No.
For listeners. Explain to them. Explain to them.
Let me do an impression of her. Yeah. She was listening to clearly this woman who's clearly gone off the deep end. Like she's clearly crazy, but because she was on their side, she was treating her like, yeah.
Explain it to them.
Yeah,
first.
listening. I mean,
go and explain the first part.
I mean, if you don't follow politics, you don't follow politics, and you're not gonna care about what I'm saying. But if you do follow politics, you probably have seen the video.
Okay, let me.
This woman stood up in AOC's rally and said that carbon dioxide. Oh my gosh, basically freaking out, and basically told everybody to start eating their babies because to save global.
Dude, go look up.
But it's okay. Even though it was fake. I think
her response to it was nuts.
Nuts.
She was just sitting
there. She was treating
like,
it as a valid threat. She's like, yeah.
No, you're right. Like, totally fine.
We need to really take this bullshit.
Yeah, dude.
If Obama actually believed that the sea levels were rising, you think he would have spent 13 million or whatever more than that on a beachside property? Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys are idiots. Idiots!
You can't call viewers idiots, dude.
Oh. They don't know who I'm calling idiots.
That's true.
I'm saying if you believe that Obama genuinely believes the sea levels will rise, which they've been telling you for years, and I'm still waiting for those sea levels to rise.
I want to tell you something interesting.
Tell me.
So, you know, a lot of the global warming that they call it out to, right? They call it's going to be carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide getting into the air.
Dioxide. Monoxide is so poisonous if you breathe it in, you're going to die.
Or carbon dioxide.
Well, carbon dioxide's the same, I guess. Yeah.
Correct. It gets in there. When it gets to that level, it starts
carbon monoxide is the same weight as air, so it kind of mingles. It doesn't go up.
Correct. Okay, so hear me out. So it breaks the ozone layer.
No, it doesn't.
What are you talking about? It deteriorates.
Carbon dioxide?
No, dude, the carbon dioxide or carbon whatever, it's breaking the ozone. That's their whole argument. That's the argument.
The argument is that it's creating a greenhouse effect in that the carbon dioxide is gathering on the upper layers of the atmosphere and it's kind of creating a layer where the sun rays will come through, but then they can't escape back into the space, which is the craziest dumbest.
I read
why they call it the greenhouse effect. Because
yes.
The greenhouse effect.
I get
it's
that.
It's such
garbage.
But
whatever it was, someone was saying that the ozone layer... Hear me out. This is the very first article a long time ago that I had read. It was breaking the ozone layer, so it was creating where the heat was coming out, more UV was coming in, correct?
That is true.
That is true. So hear me out. So their whole argument to that was that now that it's melting the ice caps... And then the ice caps are now, once all that water melts, we're gonna be all flooded. Good. It's gonna be all flooded. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, so hear me out. So now, just recently, a report came out that there's actually an active fucking volcano under the cap. That's why the ice was melting. No fucking shit, you fucking Sherlocks, that the ice melted because there's an active fucking volcano under the ice cap.
Let's just say, if I was really desperate to take someone's money, but people are really skeptical of me, then I would make up something crazy like that too. Yeah. And then I'd put all my money into trying to convince people that it's true. And then finally, when people are alarmed enough, like a lot of people, I literally talked to a guy at work and he was like, yeah, I know we shouldn't give government too much power, but this global warming's getting out of... We have to give government all the power. Yeah. Literally, I was
They said that in the 60s too. They said the same shit in the 60s?
I was just like... Hold up a sec. Like, I didn't tell it. I was just like, what? And he was literally freaking out on me. I'm like, this is the amount of brainwash. Yeah. Like, if we didn't have this CNN, MSNBC, and all these pushing this bullshit agenda, then guess what? A lot of people would live in peace. They wouldn't have a clue. Ice caps are melting, sea levels rising. Yeah. None of that's happening. Mm-hmm. Like, the ice caps may be melting, but it doesn't raise the sea levels. Like, yeah, the Johnny the polar bear might have less land, but guess what? They're not extinct. And like,
and that's another thing. For the past 3 years, they don't report this either. For the past 3 years, the ice caps have been growing.
I know.
They don't report that.
Well, because it doesn't support their hypothesis.
But that
doesn't support their agenda.
Man, I'm getting.
That's why they've changed,
insane,
dude. In the 70s, they were saying that the Earth is cooling and we're gonna have another ice age.
I remember
They cannot
that.
make up their damn mind, and in every generation,
That's true.
they invest so much bullshit money into advertising and media and into politicians that in every generation you have these people that are so brainwashed and they're so alarmed. That's what they want. They want to create chaos within people, and they're so alarmed and they're so desperate. They're like, just take all our money, just let our kids live for the love of kids. And then it just makes them sound so moral because they're thinking about their kids. And if you disagree with them, it's like, so you hate all future generations? No, I love them and I want them to have money so they can fight against these retards that are trying to take their liberties. And this is why I love America. In Europe, everyone's like, oh, government, yes, you're like say all end all. Yeah. You can say, you can just be jailed for saying something they don't like with no trial, and everybody's like, yeah, sounds about normal to me.
But that's like, the scarier part to me is that these now I feel like we're gonna delve into this pretty deep, but just give me a second.
Second or minute?
A minute.
All right, tell me.
So these ideas that sort of scare me and put me to it, kind of like, why are we repeating history all over and over again? It all leads back to
brainwash.
Socialism. Well, brainwash is one thing.
It's propaganda.
Brainwash is one thing, but when you take an ideology and it takes one person to just like be enthusiastic, be a very good convincer, and just take their personality to the next level.
I mean, that's how every communist regime has come into being.
Communist or
it's what's it called? Okay, the general theme is make people scared of something common, like say this is the reason why you're miserable, this is the reason, and this is the threat you're facing, and I'm here to fight against that. Let's vote me into power, give me all your money, and then all your problems are going to be solved. And everyone's like, yeah, it sounds good. And then they vote them into power. Yeah, he might maybe achieve what he first promised. But then he has all the money, he has all the power, and then what if the next guy comes along and he's like...
He's going to abuse it. He's like,
I don't give a shit about any of this stuff. I'm going to make you all my slaves. And you're like, he's already taken away all your money. He's already got... he's already passed legislation to control every aspect of your life. And at this point, what are you going to do? Have an uprising with all the slingshots they left for you? No! Now you have Soviet Russia.
Okay, no, I'll give you a very practical example, right? Like, let's say there's a stranger who comes in. He comes into your door. He convinces you in 24 hours that if you give him the car, he's going to be able to help so many people. You give him the key for one day, all right? He helps 100 people. Second day, he does it again. But then he's like, man, these fuckers are so unappreciative. These people that I help out, why am I even helping them out? I'm just going to take this car and just do a bunch of shit, make more business out of it. Now, guess what? Your car, he's not helping. The main reason you gave him that car was for a specific reason, but he's not enacting on that anymore. He's taking his own ideas and he's gonna do whatever the hell he wants with it.
I guess.
There's a practical example to that.
Yeah.
There's a practical. That's what it is, dude.
Yeah, it is. And it's I like my main concern is not the fact that it's the government. I just don't think that any one entity should have that much power. That's my point. Like, I don't care if it's a government. I don't care if it's one human being. I don't care if it's the Catholic Church. Like, I don't care. That's the point of the American government, is that's why we have so many branches, that one should not rule over the other. One should keep a check on the other. And the less laws we have, and this is...
But it's still... But it's still corrupt, though. You can't have a perfect system.
That's why... Okay. Let's say me and you are to rule a kingdom. We're both kings. If you're corrupt and I'm
badass kingdom, bro.
Oh, for sure.
There's gonna be bikini bitches everywhere, bro.
I don't know about that. I would make it
guns. Everybody force everybody needs to carry a gun.
Everybody's required to have a gun.
Facts, dude. Facts.
Yeah. No laws other than the civic laws.
The civic laws.
But what was I gonna say? If me and you were both in rulers of a kingdom, and you became corrupt, at least there's some hope that you will be brought into justice by me. Correct. But if you were the only ruler and everybody else had no say or whatever, if you were corrupt, we're all screwed.
That's true.
And that's why spreading power as thin as possible is so important. Like having, the House of Representatives, having the, the president, having all these branches of government is good, because if one starts to abuse their power, the other can keep a check on those.
The only problem with this that I've noticed is that the process takes a little bit longer.
Good. What kind of process are you talking about? You're talking about process of passing laws. We don't need laws.
No. I completely agree with you. Trust me, I'm as lawless as they get. All right, I'm a libertarian. I want less laws. And if laws are put into place, there should be a time. There should be a timestamp or some agreement when this law is going to go out of like laws go in enactment, but they never come away.
Well, that's a problem. Okay. Can I just state this theory before you continue?
Yeah.
I think that the reason why America is so free right now, because every time a country starts, at first, it's very free. Yeah. And a lot of people, that's why the country has a massive advantage to become very dominant in the world stage, because there's very little regulation, very little red tape. Yep. People have a lot of freedom. They're able to use the tools, resources, be creative. There's no limitations. And then as the population grows, more inequality grows, which is inevitable. Like, you can't expect everybody to be as entrepreneurial. You can't expect everybody to be as smart. You can't expect everybody to be as skilled at making money. That's just, and as they go, they're going to demand government that keeps a check on these people, and then they're going to start passing laws, and then they're going to get more regulations, more restrictions, and that's when growth slows down, because oh no, we have to control, and then eventually, and that's what's happening in the United States now. It's like, oh wait, some people got wealthy. Yes, some people got unfairly wealthy, but that doesn't mean that we're gonna punish everybody who did it fairly. Like, correct. You're taking away, like, these people that are crying for making it harder for people to become wealthy. You're shooting yourself in the foot too, because you're so you're so jealous of someone else's success, envious of someone else's success, that you're so jealous that you want the government for nobody to be wealthy. It's like, I want you to be just as poor as me.
Correct.
But they don't say that. They're saying, I want your money, and I want it to be distributed evenly. Like, no, this guy worked really hard for his money. You don't deserve it.
So just give them a little bit, like, these ideas started with Karl Marx. I will say the man was a genius. All right, the time that he came out,
it's a retard.
He was a genius in the sense that he was able to convince so many people to jump on this ideology. I mean, hear me out. But
how you gain power.
It's a utopian. Like I said in the last episode too. I was like, this is a utopian idea, and you're implementing it into dystopian motherfuckers. It's not gonna work, dude. No, you can't. Like, even if like a saint like you, I think that for the most part you're a pretty good human being.
I'm a very good human being.
But I would say that you would still abuse your power in some sort of fashion or some sense.
I mean, that's just human nature.
That's human nature. Yeah. So it's like, why would I even give you the power? Like, I'll give you an example. Like, me and you, you're a Christian, I'm a Sikh, right? Yeah. I don't want to give you the entire power so that you can go about and just put your Christian values. I don't want to have the power. Correct. And it's like, I'm like, that's why I'm like, dude, why just let me have my own thing? Yeah. I'm gonna let you have your own fucking thing. Yeah. And we're gonna live happily ever after.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying?
Live happily ever after.
Correct, we do.
Yeah. If you didn't get married, we would have lived till we retired together.
Fuck yeah, boy. That's what I'm talking about.
But thanks, Paulina, for ruining this beautiful symbiosis that's our cohabitation.
Cohabitation. Yeah, we're gay for each other.
That sounded a bit more gay than I would have liked it to be. But whatever. I'm confident enough to say that because I know that I don't like dick.
Let's talk about the time where you did get hit on by a gay dude, though.
Which time?
Dude, how uncomfortable? Because you told me the next day how uncomfortable that was. Like,
well,
go through it a little bit. Explain a little bit how you led up to it.
Wait, which time? Can you?
Anytime. Take any time which was the most uncomfortable. Because that was so funny, dude. The minute you told me, it's just your face. The way you could. That's hard. Because you.
Wait, which time? Because I've been.
The one where we're standing right there, right by the trash can.
Right by the trash can.
It's the night, you came back and you're like, that guy touched my ass, dude.
Oh. Yeah, I mean that happens all the time, especially
Dude, that's
not all the
so
time.
uncomfortable though. I
But
don't
like
know
I'm
what
not,
it is.
I'm
It's
not
so
so
uncomfortable.
uptight about like if you're gonna like start touching me up, you're probably gonna lose your front teeth. But like if someone slaps me on my bum, it's like whatever. Like
I mean, okay, but still though, like okay, slapping on the ass is kind of normal. Like I play football, and the football players we do that's a normal thing.
Yeah.
But like if someone comes and just
Cups
that ass, bro, and not only for like just like no, it's like hold off.
Yeah, I've never had that before.
How would you feel about that? What was the first thing you would say?
It depends on my mood. If I was in a good mood, I'd probably pay it off. If I was in a regular mood, I'd probably
regular mood.
I don't know. I probably wouldn't like that, honestly.
Or would it depend on who did it? Well, obviously, it would depend on who did it.
Yeah, if it was like
if it was me who just came up and cupped that ass for 5
I'd
seconds,
be like,
bro.
hell yeah!
Oh God!
Hell yeah, brother!
That's disgusting, dude.
But if it was like some super flamboyant, like, hello,
that'd be weird.
I
would feel very uncomfortable.
I'd probably slap them.
He's like, get the fuck off here,
probably
bitch.
backhand them.
Backhand, bro.
Yeah,
that's ruthless.
Yeah, dude.
You're gonna leave an imprint. You're gonna leave
good.
fucking your entire knuckles, bro.
Good.
You're gonna freaking make the map of Europe on their face,
Good.
bro.
They need to learn. If they didn't have a daddy influence when they grew up, they're gonna have one now.
Daddy influence.
Yeah, I'll punish them all they want.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I was watching another a guy who he's pretty old and he was on some conservative lady's podcast and she was like no, he was like he had gender dysphoria. That's what they called it.
That's a proper diagnosis for people who think they're opposite gender.
Steve, you God damn it. Okay. Point being, do you think that there might be something like that, like gay dysphoria?
No. I'm not one of those people.
Like people go through. I'll be honest. I have gone through this. Yeah, hear me out, bro. Just relax. I was like, we've had this discussion. I was I don't think gay people exist, especially where I come from, India. They do. And I've come to that realization. It was a stupid thing to ever think about, but when I had found out, I was like, wait, I think do I like men in that way? And then I was like, no, a dick looks way too disgusting. Like I was like, that thing.
You know what?
I don't know how women like dick, dude. I don't get it. It's the most disgusting looking, like,
maybe
Squidward fucking like.
All right, too much detail. Kids watch this show. But I don't think they do. That's why they don't like dick pics.
That's not true, dude.
I don't think they. Well, I mean, listen, Karan. You could match with a girl on Tinder. Mm-hmm. And you could send a dick pic to her and she's probably gonna unmatch you, but then she sends you a nude and you're probably like, when can we meet up?
Okay, bro. Okay, if she sends you a picture of her hairy vag, how do you think you're gonna like that?
I'd be like, when and where?
Shut the fuck. No, dude, it's still disgusting.
I'm kidding.
If a girl comes out and
my point is that like it's just not the way that they're wired is.
I can't imagine it, dude.
Yeah, it's just it's dang.
That's the new thing is like where women start sending out just vag pictures everywhere.
Stop. Dude, I thought this was a PG podcast.
Went R-rated real fucking quick, boy. Sorry.
Explicit.
Sorry.
Explicit,
okay, I'll stop.
Sure.
I'll stop. Yeah.
Wait,
I'm not gonna stop. What are you talking about?
Oh,
yeah, this is my podcast.
I was gonna say about the gay people. Like, I genuinely think that there's people who, cause like here's the thing. Like even with straight couples, like there's like you could meet a girl, or if you're a girl, you meet a guy, and like be dating, and like I'm sure everybody's heard this like a million times, and not feel loved in that relationship because the way you show love is so different.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's the exact same thing, but I think the same way there can be guys who what makes them feel the most loved is if another man shows them affection. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like they don't crave this kind of affection from women. They crave, and same with girls. Like they don't crave male affection. They crave female, and that's what makes them feel loved. Yeah. Like for example, for you.
If you've never gotten it before.
And like, and I don't know, like it's a crazy thing how the psychology works out, like when the kids grow up.
But how similar, like people who have gone through these like habits of like having bad parent, like having one bad parent.
I think there's
and it's
there's
so
a lot of
there's a lot of similarities.
I can't. I'm not like a psychologist. But
Same
like,
here, of course.
From what I've seen, there's like
the data,
and it's not even the data, but like just what I've seen. Like honestly, like I'm not knocking anybody for being feminine, but like I've noticed that guys that don't have a dad influence, that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be dad. It could be an uncle, grandfather. But guys that generally lack that, or if their dad's not, they tend to be more feminine, which makes sense. I mean, I mean, it's a basic animal instinct. Like cats will learn how to hunt from their parents.
Correct.
So like humans will learn how to be masculine from their male. Role models, or they'll learn how to be feminine, and guys will learn how to be feminine, like some emotional shit from their mom, and they'll learn the masculine shit from their dad, or whatever the masculine qualities are.
It's true though.
So if you're missing one completely, I mean.
But that's the thing. I have a theory though. Like people who have had beta dads, like beta and alpha. Like
I mean,
you can notice it. You can notice it.
Yeah,
like even within like in my own village, I had noticed like I would say my dad in personality, like in stature, he's short, he's kind of skinny, but like he has this alpha. It's not about the outlook. It's not the outlook, but it's his personality. He had this alpha personality, and that shit. You will grind with so many other men in that wrong. You'll rub them in the wrong way. Like, and I've done that so much to myself because it's like I can start seeing myself being that way. But I've seen these beta dads who have like raised their children.
Right, and be careful with your language here. You don't want to insult anybody.
What? I'm just calling out who it is, bro. Okay, but that's my point. But you can notice that.
But like the reason why I'm saying this, like you can't blame these guys, and that's why I genuinely get like gay people. Like I don't knock them. I genuinely understand. Like they like other men or they like other women. Like it's not their fault. Like that's just human psychology is very malleable when you're growing up, when your psychology is developing, when your brain is developing. It's just very malleable.
That's crazy.
And the world is just crazy place and stuff.
Then how do you feel about like currently there's this whole ride of these like showing like kids to be certain trans or like fruity. Transitioning.
I think
that's very hard. Like
I think they're trying to make something that
doesn't exist.
No, it does exist, but they're trying to make something that is not ideal mainstream, because just to make a few people comfortable.
But it's so to me, it's like because children in general are very easily influenced, and they're brainwashed.
Well, they believe everything
because they haven't seen the world in a sense.
They don't know. Like I mean, kids don't know. Like for example, my niece, when she was like 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Like she didn't know what lying means. Like she didn't know. Nobody's ever told her a lie. So whatever you told her, she believed.
That's it. Yeah.
And that's how kids are. Like they don't. Like and that's where like I think my Christian worldview comes in, is that I think within our core we are, man was made in God's image, and God's image is, reflected in his perfect law, and his perfect law will prohibit us lying, but that's a reflection of saying God is truthful. Like he cannot lie. So
it's very hard for us, like from a
Sikh
perspective. That's a hard thing to come.
Yeah, by everything that we learn, that is a vice, is as a result of a broken world, a broken system, like lying, stealing, committing adultery, being covetous, and all these things. Like as a young kid, in my argument is like if you don't expose kids to all these vices. They will never know what they are, and they will easily fall for them because they're enticing.
So you're saying they should make these mistakes?
I don't think they. I think in an ideal world they shouldn't. But in order to protect them from. They have to know.
Or expose them to it.
Yeah, they have to be. It's kind of like a virus.
I
mean, that's what I think ultimately sin is. Is a virus, and if you're exposed to some of it.
Then you'll learn from it. You're gonna gain experience from it.
You become immune to it if you acknowledge yourself.
Like how are you supposed to train your mind if you don't know all the things to experience? Like,
well, that's why it's important to know the truth, and that's why I think in Christianity, like Scripture says, if you know the truth will set you free. And
Preach,
that's why.
Preach.
Sorry,
But it's
this is turning
to me
into a
what
sermon.
that's a good thing. I think what one thing is like when people start talking about God or anything like that, people start to turn their faces away from it nowadays.
Yeah. Well,
that's what bugs me too. It's like,
well, it's because I think that the opposite side, which like in Christianity we believe that Satan is a really real being, is that his main goal is to paint Christians as crazy, or
yeah.
you know, because if you paint the truth as crazy or like conspiracy or all this, like discredit it basically,
pretty much, yeah,
then people won't even give it a chance.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's true. It's very true.
But
what bothers,
and most like, more often not, if it's not outrageous and if it's not like absolutely out there, then it's, I mean, that's what truth is. It's like it's supposed to open your eyes. You're like, it's like what, like you know what I'm saying? Like if you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get you. I'd like, but bringing it back to the point where like these transitioning children, when you're teaching them, it's totally okay for an undeveloped mind and an undeveloped child. When you're teaching it, like, oh, it's totally okay to transition towards one thing.
No, it's good.
There's an actual, like, I feel for people who feel like they're in the wrong body or whatever it may be, right? Like, if they're feeling, if you're feeling it before the age of 18, mate, you're feeling something else. Like, like, you know, and I'll tell you what, like, I'll give you an example. Like, you know, Arjun, like my cousin's son, he was put into gymnastics. Mm-hmm. He was put into an all girls gymnastics. And he started to act like, walk like, and respond like a girl because that's what he was around. Then my cousin was like, what the fuck is going on? And then as soon as he changed environments, that's when you learn. Like, that's the thing. You have to peers, correct. You start imitating where you're at. So it's like there needs to be a distinction where, like, hey man, like, first you need to be around your peeps, your kind, and then start to delve into and understand the other. Like, but before the child's mind is even undeveloped, of course, like take a brother who has 5 sisters.
Yeah.
He acts like his sisters, dude. Like, that's what you're around constantly.
Yeah,
I know many people like that.
I don't think I'd agree with that part because I think that kids will take most of their developing, like, I guess what's the word, their example from their parents. It's biologically built in. So again, if like, because there's guys that have been grown up with 3 sisters, but their dad is just alpha AF, and like they're really protective of their sisters. Like, that's like, you can't change human biology. Like, that's just how humans are wired. Like, you know, if your children will learn from their parents, like this saying that men will become like their dads and girls will become like their mothers, like there's a reason why they say that. Like, whether you like it or not, I mean, that's how it is. If you don't swim against stream, you don't get, like, if you're and the dad was a complete abuser and you get hella counseling, which professional counseling, like, people will understand the mind to retrain your mind. You are going to be like your dad, or you are going to be like your mom in one way or another. Like, not an exact copy, of course, because there's much more to a developing mind than just your mom and dad, like your environment and what you get involved in.
I'm a bigger believer of nurture versus nature.
What do you mean?
Nature is like saying that you are this way because of that's who you are.
No,
nurture, I feel like I'm a big believer that how you grow up and the circumstances you grow into is the human you turn out to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's very
there's a little bit of both. There's a little bit of both for sure, but I would lean more towards nurture is the way you were raised and the things that your parents did and what you're surrounded
and honestly,
with.
Like, one of my biggest problems with the world is that this all, like, just be yourself, like, your greatest strength is within you, like, be true to yourself, whatever you are. It is such load of booty shit. I don't want to swear. But
booty shit.
It's just such a load of crap. Because, like, because you can't say that to a schizophrenic dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, be your... No. Like, the mind... Like, you know, the Bible says... Like, I don't mean to quote the Bible to you,
go for it.
But sometimes I do, you know?
Yeah.
And because I really believe that the Bible is the truth. And it says that the heart is deceitful above things. Like, you can't... Human minds... And we just talked about how human minds are so malleable. So you can't... If they're so malleable with your circumstances, with your, you know, whether it's nature and nurture, then how can you say that this is your truth or this is your... That be true to... You're being true to something that is so subjective and it so depends on other people.
So true.
Like, you gotta have some kind of anchor in life that is true. And we can argue all day about, you know, basic human nature, but at the end of the day, I can... pretty much trace like a lot of how people find virtuous into things that are described in our scripture or in Christian scripture as being like God, you know. And I think that we are very much like that, and that's why a lot of these laws that are given, God is saying, hey, like, basically, to put it into human language, I want you to be like that because this is what I'm like. So I think that ultimately, I don't believe in the be true to yourself. I think we need to be more like God, and then and
like go towards something more virtuous.
Go towards
virtuous personality. Virtuous,
go towards an ideal.
Correct.
Don't
where you want to be.
And this is what makes such a messed up society, because everybody's, I'm like this, and like, if you tell me otherwise, then you hate me. Like, no, like,
it's not the case. We want better for you. That's
we want better for you. And then if you have nothing virtuous to behold or nothing virtuous to strive towards, then you're just going to strive towards wherever the stream leads. Like, what if I decide that it's very virtuous to, you know, start beating up people that are shorter than me? Like, what if that's my truth and you can't tell me otherwise? Like, you just can't. You gotta have some kind of a common anchor in life where we agree, like, this is the ideal. And I believe that a lot of religions provide that, and Christianity, I don't know about Sikhism, but Christianity, for example, does. And so if you're
are you talking about just like straying away from the path, or like
basically not saying that, oh, I am whoever I am and this is perfect?
I mean, we're taught, like, at least for us, we have like the 5 Ds of time. It's like you're supposed to avoid these things and try your best. That's this both are similar.
I think
everyone falls short.
Everyone falls short.
Except for us saints, are like, you know.
But like the goal in every religion is to become you're striving towards some ideal. Whoever your deity is, like, I don't think you'd want to worship someone who's not perfect in being.
Correct.
I mean, that's what you'd think, that God is perfect. So like, if God wasn't perfect, then might as well worship another human being if I like what they're doing. I mean, that's what's happening in the world right now. It's like, if I really like this bodybuilder, I'm gonna like, people literally idolize, oh my gosh, you're a god, you know. They'll say that.
How do you so now that you're talking about sort of is everything good? That's fine. So now that you're talking about, like, you know, like striving towards being like somewhat of like this perfect body, or this whatever it may be, how do you feel about, and not going straying away from God's natural order, how do you feel about genome modification?
Genome
modification,
like gene modification.
Like, back in the day, hear me out, back in the day when it first came out, it was billions of dollars, and within a span
isn't it still?
No, now it's thousands. It's like a few $1,000s if you want to do it. In a span of like 20 years, it like literally decreased a shit ton.
Wait, what are you talking about right now? Like, as in human gene modification?
Yeah, human gene modification. If you know that your child is going to turn out a certain way, how do you feel about then, like, you changing the DNA in order to change the outcome? Like now you're talking, like, you know, like bodybuilding or something like that. Like if someone could say, I'm going to give you the better chance of like building bigger muscles, bigger body, taller height.
Again,
I don't know if you can control all of that, but
you probably can.
But like, if someone could do it, would you? How do you feel about that?
I think that again, like, I'll say that I I believe that when man was made perfect, and as a result of all of the choices that man made, like over generations, genes have gotten weaker and weaker, and
so you're saying we're straying away from
big time. I mean,
okay,
I mean,
okay,
yeah, I mean, stuff will carry over just one generation. Like if you're like, I mean, let me bring you a prime example. A pregnant woman, if she's like shooting heroin while she's pregnant, guess what? Her child's gonna have probably such a screwed up health. Probably gonna grow with like, I mean, this is just one generation.
Correct.
Like, what makes us think that what we eat, what we do, our daily activities, what books we read, my movies, like all of these affect over generations.
Yeah.
And I
But
think
could you not believe that it could get better though? Like you with certain.
I think it can get better if we strive to be, if we strive towards an ideal, and that's why I believe that, as a Christian, your Christianity is not about showing everybody how virtuous you are. Yeah. Christianity is about, following and striving and, giving God what he desires, which is, his time or whatever, which allows you to become more like him. I think that is improving, but I think that a lot of the stuff that people do, it's like you hear a lot of people, like I'm not going to get into arguments with people because this is what I believe, and what they will say is like, so what, I have a burger once in a week, like, yeah, I probably agree, yeah, it's not much, but like if you eat burgers or if you eat junk food like 3 days out of the week and then get drunk every weekend, and then you're surprised why your kids has all these health problems. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you're just proving my point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're living you're destroying your body.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you do this over generations and generations, I mean,
it's gonna build up.
And it gets you to a point where you're gonna have kids who have all these weird things growing, like they have 6 fingers or whatever they have. They're born with already heart conditions, or they're born. Yeah, dude, I know people who born like that. Yeah, like not like a fully grown finger, but like I know personally someone who has
with 2 dicks.
No. No. They started growing a 6th finger, but it didn't grow fully, but
yeah. I've seen people like that.
Yeah, and that's why, in my opinion, it is so important that's why I think a lot of Christians they try to separate themselves. I mean, this is why, like, I could think a lot of parents send their kids to Wawa as part of their effort to separate their kids, their generation from they try to get them to healthy eating, to not necessarily vegetarians. There's a lot of meat eaters, but healthy eating
makes sense.
Because they genuinely believe that, like, we're given one body in this life. Like, why destroy it? Like,
that's fair.
Wait, what were we talking about? I was talking
genome modification.
Yeah, genome modification. So do I think that it's good?
Yeah.
I think.
Let me ask you a personal question.
I think that,
like, let's say, hold on.
Let me answer the question quickly with one sentence.
Okay.
I think that what God created originally was ideal, but we've wrecked it so much, and now we're gonna try and fix it. I think that if we believe that God's way and God's way of living is ideal, and we return back to that, I think that we're gonna realize that.
Like, that's how we improve it, is what you're saying.
That's how we improve it. But I think you will realize, and I think this is what I think Christianity is all about, is that you're going to learn to be content, and whether it's your wealth, whether it's your body, you're not going to, because you're not focusing on yourself anymore, you're focusing on God.
Yeah.
And you're not going to care so much about whether you're a bodybuilder. You're not going to care so much whether you're going to be a good pole
so you're
vaulter.
saying these vices will already go away?
No, they might not go away, but you're gonna be so content. Like, I don't need gene modifications. Like, this is not my goal in life. My goal in life is to become more like God, and And this is, I think that is honestly the biggest virtue of Christianity is contentment, and it's the peace and that's why there's.
But there's a lot of religions that believe in that.
Yeah,
There's
that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of and that's why I think it's so important because when you're thinking, and this and maybe this is not just exclusive to religions. Maybe. It's
just a way of life.
Maybe for any human to believe that there's someone perfect out there and to learn that perfect being, maybe that's all it takes. I don't know.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so I'm not like trying to advertise Christianity to you. I'm just saying that I genuinely believe that you become by beholding something. You know, we become the movies we watch, we become the books we read. So if we
that's your diet. Like
that's your diet. That's what you're digesting to your mind.
Yeah.
So like if you focus on something perfect, you're going to become more perfect. And I think one of the greatest things about one of the greatest achievements about Christianity or becoming a true Christian is you just don't care about worldly things anymore. Because I mean your belief,
like you want to take care of the people around you
and make your interest will not become to please you. Like my interest is not to become the biggest dude to impress girls. My interest is not to flex on you with my latest car. You know, my interest is to make other people like, hey, I found something that's out of this world and I don't care about anything else. Like I just want
that's fair.
I just want people to know the same, and I want people to be just as content.
That's fair.
And I think that's the improvement that the humans should be looking for.
No, that makes total sense. Because I think that a lot of people can resonate with that.
Because gene modification, again, you're serving selfish interest. Like I want to be bigger. I want to have taller kids. I want to have a kid that's going to play in the NBA so that I'm well taken care of. So I have all my world.
For sure. There's going to be people like that.
That's what I'm saying. It's the idea. I'm not going to comment on whether it's virtuous or not. It's just as unvirtuous as any other selfish thing we do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But okay, let me ask you something, which is like a very hard question to answer. So what's the disease where your one chromosome is off? Is that?
I have no idea.
What's that? I don't want to be mean.
Is it when you have like when you're kind of man and kind of woman?
No.
I don't know.
It's where it's like they're born with like they're kind of a little bit off, and they're a little bit off. Hold on. Can we just look this up?
Wait, autism?
Is it being autistic?
I don't know.
But anyways, like let's say like these individuals.
Describe them to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Put it on the fucking spot. Okay, whatever. Fuck it. It's like they do everything a little bit slower. Their eyes are a little bit messed up. They're droopy. Yeah, droopy is a good way to put it.
They do everything slower.
Hold on. I think it's like they're 13. I don't want to sound stupid either. Their 13th chromosome. One of their chromosomes off.
I don't know. Huh.
Just give me 1 second. And this disease is also it Down syndrome. So
Isn't that what I said?
Did you say Down syndrome?
I don't know.
No, you said autistic.
Autistic.
Motherfucker. Yeah. So people with close to hear me out. Okay. So if you knew that your child was going to have Down syndrome, and you know that, like, let's say this was a cause of because humans were straying away from God, right?
I think everything.
But that's my point is, like, let's say you can avoid Down syndrome for your child. Would you do it or would you not do it? It's a hard question.
I think as a human being,
like I would do it.
Yeah,
like I'm being for real. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, as a human being, trying to be, trying to give my child the best chance in life. I think I would do it too.
Yeah. Because you do want that for your child. Because it's not
fair. Yeah, because it's not fair. You're not. It's not something you're doing for yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you're fixing something like we talked about, something that's degenerated from God's ideal.
Yeah.
Which and that's why that's part of the reason why I'm not like opposed to any medicine, and I'm not opposed to
interesting.
And I'm not opposed to drugs in general. I'm just saying we have to be extremely wary
of what we're
very limited into what. Like, I mean, if I'm dying of bronchitis, of course I'm gonna take antibiotics. But the way that the drug industry has made it sound to be is like, oh, you have a little headache, here's like 800 milligrams of Advil.
Right.
Like that's just that's messed up.
Yeah.
Like you're
like my mother's popping pills, bro.
That's
my
not
own
good.
mother. Sorry, mother, I'm exposing you now. But like anything happens,
Yeah,
she's
it's not
popping
good.
Advils
It's not
left
good.
and right, dude.
not
That
good.
shit messes with your liver.
Yeah.
It
No,
does.
it messes with your stomach.
Everything. And my not only that, but the scarier part for my own mother was that my mom has 3 children. I have 2 siblings, and they were all born C-section. And she's had 2 surgeries on top of that.
Well, you just exposed your mother.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but she's had a tough life.
I'm just gonna expose it too. I was born with C-section too.
Yeah, okay, but that's my like
we're C-section buddies. Alright. Dude, at least turn off your phone when you do a podcast.
Sorry, my bad. But no, like it was like, but at the end of the day, like I told my mother, but she's better now. She's better now. But back in the day, dude, I remember she had a little headache. Something happens. I feel painful. Pop that shit.
that's how everybody is nowadays, and it's just crazy to me. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
And it's like if your body, like I get it, if you're like girls, if they're on their period, it's pain. I can't talk for that because I haven't had period cramps.
Yeah.
Thank God. But like, I think that if
that's
like,
right, that's hard.
Dude, we're gonna sound so Amish. Like honestly, this podcast should be called 2 Amish people talking.
Dude, I'm gonna label it that 2 Amish people.
But like honestly, if you're in pain, that's your body telling you something. Like, hey, stop eating burgers and fries every day for lunch, for crying out loud. Like, don't eat so much sodium. Like, stop eating those ready-made meals from Safeway. You know, like I think so. Like, you know, we're putting a Band-Aid on a burst artery. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not. Yeah, we'll take away temporary pain, and I don't know. I just think, like I said, I believe a man was made in the perfect image of God, and yes, we've degenerated over time. But I think that if we eat food that God gave, not what Barack Obama made or.
Dude, he comes up with a new type of celery, bro.
No,
this is the Barack Obama celery,
nobody
and gentlemen.
fact checked me on this because I said that Barack Obama makes GMO food. I just made a joke.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Fact checked you. Everyone comes in bursting into your office.
I hate all government. But
fuck government.
But what I'm saying is that if we eat foods that God made, not foods that humans have messed up, then I think that we will have the best chance of surviving, having the best quality in life.
So let me give you another example. So like the bananas that
genetically modified, I know.
Genetically modified.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of bananas, like bananas are meant to have seeds. Like I don't know if a lot of our listeners like they were like fruits have been modified over time.
If they didn't
this
is gonna sound ultra lame, but I actually listened to a whole podcast on bananas.
Bananas?
Just bananas.
You got how long was it?
Dude, it was 2 parts too. It was like 2 hours long, bro. Sometimes
what the fuck? What do you do with your life, bro?
Nothing.
No, that's a good thing. We need to be educated on this.
Some of the stuff that I do in my life, you would not like.
I do listen to a lot of random podcasts too.
I know. But like they were saying how like if they didn't genetically modify these bananas, then we wouldn't have bananas because of some insecticide that would want to eat the banana. Yeah. So they genetically modified so that you wouldn't eat it. Because it was so invasive that it would have destroyed all the crops if they didn't do that, and they didn't have any other way of getting rid of it. So like the reason
but now these are getting diseased too. So if this one set gene is
so they have to come up with something else. So like I said,
so it's necessary.
It's necessary.
At some level, it's necessary.
But it's not necessary for you to eat bananas. Like during the communist era, like there was they didn't allow any imports. You think they were growing bananas in Soviet Union? No. Do you think people were dying of lack of potassium? No. They were surviving just fine. Yeah. And the shit that they sold in the store was milk and bread. That was it. And people were healthy as horses. They're, people
underfed is one word. I don't want to call them like fucking.
No, they were, there was food, but there was food. The food was that you grow in your own garden. No. It wasn't like here, you go to Safeway and you got like grapes, like, or there's so many colors. Like, I don't know what to buy. Like, it's the problems of capitalism. Like you went to.
It's a good problem to have, though.
It is a good problem, but like everything is genetically modified. But yeah, you can't win. Look, whatever. But yeah, so like I said, we live in a broken world, and there's too many people. Yeah. I think that's the core of our problem is climate change, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. We're running out of resources. Yeah. People are getting more evil, mentally ill. broken families. I mean, Jesus is coming soon. I'm telling you right now.
Bro, I don't know if I agree with that completely, but I can feel your pain though. I can see.
Karen, I don't want to be on that day being I told you so. Convert.
I'm gonna be like, no, fuck that, bro. If Jesus comes down, he's be like, yo, so what's up? You were Christian. I'm like, fuck no, dude. Do what you want with me. I'm right here. What's up?
I think if I was wrong, whoever was coming down, I'd be like, I kiss your feet. Please let me live forever.
This little bitch, bro. I'd be like, you know what? I live true by my way. Accept me how I am and do it whatever, bro.
This is my final say to people is that
ending statement.
Every ending statement is live according to the light that you've been given. If you don't live according to the truth that you know to be true, then that's your real sin.
Yep.
But if you become aware and you still keep living your life in a poor manner, then you're guilty.
Senseless.
Yeah, then you're guilty. Mm-hmm. But if you don't know and you live in ignorance, you're not guilty. Like this is
that's a lot of people though.
I don't want people to. I genuinely think that the reason why more people don't believe in God, whether it's my Christian God or your Sikh God or whatever, not that guy.
Oh my God! I am gonna have to cut that out. God damn it! Yeah,
but I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
then I'm gonna get murdered.
You're gonna get killed, bro.
But what I was gonna say is that. Shoot, what was I gonna say? Oh, that if you what was I saying? What were we talking about?
We're talking about God and how people are straying away from God's plan.
Yeah. I forgot what I was
Son
say.
of a bitch. Okay.
Dude,
ending statement. You
that was my ending statement, but you kept drilling me more.
I didn't say shit, bro.
No, you kept drilling me more, so I said.
Okay. So, ending statement. I love you all. We all love everybody. Okay, we need to have more discussions like this. I think that's how you open up views. And I'm gonna give you a shout out right now, boy. You're gonna hate me for this too.
Don't give me a shout out.
I know we need to have more discussions because Sosa. One of these episodes is gonna be him and Sosa.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. We're gonna have them in the same room. These are two
in the same room
on the same podcast, and we are going to get over some issues. There needs to be love shown. They are very politically. They are just different people. They're politically different people.
I'm gonna be very reserved.
It doesn't matter, dude. No, you don't need to be reserved. I think that if you talk and I think she's a reasonable person. I know that, and you're a reasonable person.
I'm just gonna put it out there that I'm announcing my not retirement, but I'm gonna severely limit my exposure to politics because it's starting to mess with my mental health.
Yes, it is, dude. You're like, that's the thing. I went through this phase too. Last thing we talk about.
I need to tone down.
When I just want to make everybody aware of this. If you're in one little bubble, if you're like, let's say you're more left-leaning or right-leaning, and you follow certain pages, you're already creating a certain bubble for yourself. You're hearing the same thing over and over again. And this goes for conservatives, it goes for liberals, it goes for Democrats, it goes for Republicans.
People love listening to viewpoints that reinforce their ideas.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, as a human society, please challenge yourself. Go out there with love and try to understand one another. If you can do that, we're gonna gap and close this bridge to this gap. All right?
Let me just say out there that part of the reason why I shove Trump in so many people's faces is because I personally enjoy triggering people.
And that's another thing. He creates anger, so that's why
he
creates reactions, and that's why most people on one side do not like him.
And they bite, and they're like little puppies, and they're holding on, and I'm just here tugging that little rope. And then they just get really mad, but I'm just there like having fun, you know? And that's why I say outrageous shit, but I don't mean
That's good. If you have a conversation from here on out with Seem, now you know what you're ready to expect it at least. Yeah. And
I'm glad we scratched the surface.
All right. Thank you for listening in. Whoever got through this entire thing, I love you all. Thank you for supporting, and we'll get out there, boy. Appreciate it.
All right, I'm going to go to bed now.
All right, me too. Fuck, dude, I got to eat.
Goodbye.
All right, bye, peeps.